Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're focusing in on a viewer question, and I received quite a lot of correspondence and emails that ask a lot of questions, relay a lot of stories, and I don't have time to address all of them, but I want to address some of the most common that I get here in this video. And that is really, how do I get back at a narcissist or a psychopathic individual? How do I get even with them? How do I settle the score? How do I get things right? How do I let them know that they're not going to mess with me again? And if you are in verbal connotation with them or connection with them or still texting them, arguing, calling up and, trying to get your stuff back, or you're in, that separation phase or the devaluation phase, you need to exit the relationship. If it's become so riddled and so conflict ridden and so agitated where you're constantly thinking about them, you can't focus on yourself, your life, your work, you're not feeling happy, you're feeling a lot of anger, and no matter what you do, you just seem to be constantly angry and agitated with thoughts of this individual or trying to settle the score, trying to get back at them. You feel so violated, you feel so betrayed. I've had people who have, had fits of rage, fits of anger. They're trying to get this negative energy out. And, they might hit themselves. They might hit their head against the wall, beat their chest, scream. All these are expressions of really trying to validate oneself and get one's self-respect back and really send a clear message to this individual that they are messing with the wrong person, that they have now exposed them for who they are. They now know what they're dealing with. They now have kind of lifted the veil. They've seen the string of pathological lies, and now everything makes sense. And they could have been dealing with this for weeks, months, or years, or decades even. And so oftentimes there's a lot of anger and self-sabotage oftentimes that can occur with this. So number one, to get back at them, is stop the self-sabotage. Stop the, beating up of yourself, and stop the voice of self-criticism. And, yes, you do have to go through legitimate grieving process and the legitimate learning of the lesson here, because if you don't learn the lesson, you're bound to repeat this mistake. And you want to stop attracting these violators and perpetrators, these, essentially, misfits or losers or mismatched individuals into your life. The people who are not supportive, the people who are not empathetic, the people who are out to get you, stab you in the back, smear campaign you, do gossip, are constantly, using foul language, constantly emphasizing the wrong things in life and expecting you to just follow suit. So, if you are, with this type of individuals, just say, admit to yourself, number one, is that I am making a change. I'm no longer surrounding myself with people who cause this anxiety, stress, and are living this lie. And admit to yourself, I no longer want to live this lie. I no longer want to feed into this pathology, this disillusion, and I'm no longer allowing myself to be deceived. So number one, you have to make that declaration to yourself. And it has to be 100% declaration. And 100, it's not, like this might be good for me, but it is good for me. And you need to change the statement from I should make a change to I am making a change. Because if you keep saying should, you're putting it off into the future, and then you're keeping a state of uncertainty and anxiety, and you're keeping these negative influences in your life. It's too wishy-washy. You're not having the commitment that is required to make the firm change moving forward. And you have to have zero tolerance for the pathological lies. You have to have zero tolerance for that. So if you're in the devaluation and the discarding phase, you need to actually just make a declaration to this individual that, you're no longer playing these games. and that, you're letting them go. And, continue to play the games. I'm not playing them. You need to make a clean break, a clean cut, and just be very declarative. And then keep your power about you. Don't, yes, you're going to feel sad. You're going to feel like you've lost time in your life. You're going to feel like you've lost opportunity, perhaps the quote unquote best years of your life. It's time to, heal and heal efficiently and quickly, and no longer continue the hurt from replaying in your life. Constantly going over, what I did wrong or what they did wrong, and constantly replaying, because then you're just basically, like a broken record. You're just playing the old stories. You need to let go of the old stories and start filling your life up with new people, new experiences, and new feelings in your life to help fill that hurt and fill that wound. And it might take some time, but to get revenge back, you need to go no contact and do a complete 360 in terms of how you relate to them. So if you have been kind, supportive, always, wanting to work things out and apologizing, this won't happen again, but you've learned that they're going to continue what they're doing, and you've had enough, basically, know in your heart that you've had enough, and just go no contact. Just don't continue the texts, don't continue the phone calls, don't continue the dates, don't continue the lunches, the Facebook checking. Just, cut everything off. And you have to really kind of sort of starve yourself emotionally of this individual's influence in your life. And when I say don't ride on their coattails, do not have any sort of connection with them. Don't, continue to think about them, harbor thoughts. Because the more that you replay this in your mind, the more you're allowing their power to remain in your life. And this can go on for weeks, months, and years, where people, are on the rebound and the grieving process for way too long. I mean, they spend, so much of their time just trying to reanalyze and rehash what had occurred, when they need to just really get into a meditative, mindful state and just say, okay, that was done. That was the wrong type of person for me. I'm now going to look ahead to my future and really start re-examining and re-evaluating the type of people that I deserve to have in my life. And I'm furthermore going to work on myself and my independence and my autonomy, and having emotional stability within myself, where I don't allow these people into my life because of my own weakness, because of my own desire to be nurtured, supported for, and cared for. I'm instead going to have these qualities in and of myself, where I'm going to validate myself. I'm going to, enter and heal and heal these wounds, so I can attract healthy people who are on a like vibration, who are on a like energy. And for a lot of people, this is new information, and it does take work. It does take time. It does take time being independent, single, and on your own, to build yourself up in a healthy manner. So you're now going to attract someone who's healthier, someone who's not looking for someone to take advantage of or move into a relationship too quickly, where you're basically allowing your boundaries to be violated, and then you're wondering, what happened again? Why did this happen again? So in terms of really getting revenge and really just, pull yourself out of the relationship, it'll send a very clear message. Sometimes the taking action, that radical action, will do the healing for you. It'll make the statement for you. Actions are louder than words. So you need to just go no contact. It'll send a very clear message. It won't create a lot of stress in your life. But if you need to be declarative to this individual, just be very declarative, and just let them know that, you're no longer subject to this type of relationship. I'm no longer interested in you. I mean, just period, end of story. If you're not used to saying these words, you want to let them know that, you've had enough, and just let them know, I've had enough. Period, end of story. And then just walk away. Just make a statement and walk away. You need to let these people go, remove them from your life. If you feel like you're surrounded from them, I mean, look at the solutions and ways that you can find, a new place to live, etc. Whatever it is you need to do, start taking action steps in that direction so you can make it happen. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.